published 17:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 10th of May 2018, updated 1947 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 10th of May 2018. Well done to Eddie Jones for grasping the nettle, making some big calls and shaking the squad up after the disappointing Six Nations campaign. It was much needed, and the influx of ambition and in some cases experienced and nous will freshen things up for a tricky tour against a South Africa side who will be more formidable than in recent years. The headline selection is obviously Danny Cipriani, whose inclusion I have been advocating since before the 2015 World Cup. I've been a huge fan since I saw him play as a schoolboy with my son, Joe, and nothing has dented my faith in him as a player. Eddie Jones deserves praise for making some big calls and shaking up the England squad up. He has his critics, but over the last 4 years, all I have seen at Sale and Wasps is that he has honed his skill set and upped his defensive work considerably. He must start in all 3 tests. There is no value in doing what England did in New Zealand in 2014 when Cipriani was given virtually no game time off the bench in the tests and had to make do with a solitary start against Canterbury, when he produced a man-of-the-match performance. The point in taking Cipriani is to see if at the age of 30 and at the height of his powers, he can get England's backline buzzing. One of the many things I like about his game is his ability to operate on limited possession. Neither Sale nor Wasps have boasted dominating packs in recent seasons, but Cipriani performs really well under that pressure. His combination with Owen Farrell at 12 could be exceptional, and that alone adds edge to this team. Danny Cipriani was the most notable inclusion and must start every test against South Africa. England know this summer is the last chance to experiment before preparations for next year's World Cup begin in earnest. It will be interesting to see if Jones pairs him with Wasps scrum half Dan Robson, who has also been overdue a call-up elsewhere. I don't agree with the pick of Brad Shields. He is a fine player, England qualified, but I'm not happy with him being dragged out of a Super Rugby season to tour. England should turn to homegrown players first. Shields and others in his position need to spend time in the English game first to establish their credentials and loyalties. Catapulting him straight into the test team would send out a bad message, and at least the presence of 3 specialist blindsides, Chris Robshaw, Mark Wilson and young Jack Willis, would suggest there will be a genuine battle for selection. Of the uncapped players, Cameron Redpath is the real bolter. He is from great stock, with Dad Brian, the ex-Scotland scrum half, being one of the very best in his position from his generation. He has been a stellar England age group international, and I do hope that he is not just seen as an apprentice in South Africa. England should have turned to homegrown players before dragging Brad Shields in, though.